Welcome back to Newsday. We're bringing you live feed from Magodo as we hear that the governor of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, is currently on location at the moment. Hopefully, he'll be addressing the residents there, and we'll definitely see what has to happen eventually. Let's take a look. Tokunbo Oyetunji is still there in Magodo, and Tokunbo, bring us up to date. What's the latest? It looks like we've not been able to establish connection with Tokunbo, but once we are able to connect to him, we will definitely bring Tokunbo back. But in the meantime, we can see the governor of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, arriving at the Magodo residential area. Hopefully, he's making inspections, and he'll be able to sort of speak to us and speak to the residents later on. I'm sure our correspondent on there, Tokunbo Oyetunji, will be telling us more once they've had the chance. But
and Tokunbo and Temi Tokpa, it seems a little chaotic. Earlier on, it seems like the governor has a lot of security presence around him, as the resident, the Magodo resident head was saying that things might get a little bit
out of hand.
So it seems like they've definitely come prepared to douse the situation or handle the situation, whatever comes today.
Well, I think it's a good thing that the governor has responded as quickly as possible to what's happening here, considering the fact that we are already getting, threats of violence, and we really wouldn't want this to be another mini EndSARS. So it's a good thing he's here, and hopefully he'll be able to speak to them, douse the tension, and probably find an amicable solution to this crisis.
I think that's the bottom line, to find an amicable solution to both parties, basically, for there to be resolution at the end of the day, because that's what is key in this matter. And like you say, for him to douse the situation as well, because earlier on, from what we saw, it could have escalated, but with his presence, I'm hoping that situation will die down at the end of the day.
And everybody wants to see the end of this situation. I'm sure this Magodo situation is causing quite a bit of traffic and gridlock outside on the roads, causing a lot of anxiety for the residents as well. It would be very good to get some kind of resolution today and to start implementing it before things pick up in the state. As you know, it's still early in January. In the next couple of days, things are going to get quite busy in the city, and it would be best if this is cleared up.
I'm glad you actually bring that up, because, the last time that this happened, the whole area was completely affected, traffic-wise. So today it will be interesting to sort of see how that would have affected events today.
Well, I think what the governor will do today is actually just, set the stage, for both parties to come to the negotiation table to discuss. What he needs to do first is to get the protesters off the street so that there can be peace, and then they'll probably set a date, meet at a formal meeting, and then, just come up with a solution.
I know the number, but for security purposes, I cannot say this is Lagos.
So you know I'm the one talking to you?
Yes, sir.
You're assistant, what is this?
I'm a chief secretary of police.
Oh, CSP.
Yes.
Don't worry. I'll make 2 phone calls, right? One to the Inspector General of Police and one to the Attorney General of Police, Attorney Inspector of the Federation. I have spoken with him this morning, and says he knows nothing about the fact that they are still here. Very illegal operation. They have absolutely nothing, and I'm the Chief Security of the state. Not even with the Inspector General wrote me, and before I said Jack Robinson is men are here. They're not from the Lagos State, right? They are not from Lagos State Police Command. It says it's coming from Abuja, and I don't know what other interest do they have beyond just. This is not an expectation that I will expect any business here at all. The case is between the state government, and I'm the governor standing in front of you, not with my residents. These are my residents.
Letter submitted to the and the Commissioner of Police, Lagos State Command.
I am still bringing back your Inspector General of Police. The same letter you are talking about.
Yes, I have it.
What court hasn't given you, I've since written it back to him on that letter you have
Thank you, sir.
So you have one leg, you don't have the other leg. And that's why I'm asking how many men you have it. You say you don't know.
I know.
And I'm asking you refuse to make a phone call. I will make a phone call, right? And I'm sure they'll give me. I'm asking you to know your men is that I want to be sure that every man you brought into this estate, you can account for and you can take them out of this place before we have a complete breakdown of law and order. And you'll be taken responsible for it.
Thank you, sir.
Full responsibility, you'll be taken for it.
Thank you, sir.
Gentlemen, give me 5 minutes, I'll make those 2 phone calls.
The Lagos State Governor still in Magodo residential area in Lagos State, happening development at the moment.
And we saw him come out earlier to douse the tensions that were obviously escalating over the days because of this, the protests and obviously the writing on the markings on some of the buildings and the heavy police presence within Magodo. We saw him talking to the it seems like a
representative
police chief
of the police, but can you imagine the effrontery? Because I heard him say, call your superior in Abuja that you need to leave. So I don't understand how the security agencies or the security personnel from Abuja can come all the way to Lagos State and actually try to implement a policy that is not in favor of the Lagos State residents. And this is the Lagos State governor talking to you. So why would you want to? I think he was talking back at the governor, which I found very disrespectful.
Well, I'm very interested, in what the outcome of the phone calls that he said he's going to make will be. He said he's going to be speaking with the Inspector General of Police and the Attorney General of the Federation. I really think this matter should be made public because it's mind-boggling that a team from Abuja will just come into Lagos and, try to enforce an order, without the knowledge of the state governor. I'm really amazed.
Yes, and here the governor is, talking to you, and you're still at the end of the day not even willing to come to a conclusion or to an agreement.
All right, we have on the line live in Magodo, Tokunbo Oyetunji. We have made contact with him again. Tokunbo, are you there? Can you hear me? All right, Tokunbo, we want to know exactly what the situation is on ground now, especially since the governor has just spoken to the people.
Yes, the governor actually specifically engaged the leader of the police team, the IG police team that has been stationed here since the past 2 weeks, and they've used the Magodo police post here as their base since they came into this place, and this is where the governor of the state has moved into to actually engage with the leader, who told him that the order is carrying out here is beyond him, because the governor actually specifically demanded that they withdraw immediately from Magodo since there is no breakdown of law and order to warrant the presence of the armed men here. But the leader of the team here told him that that is beyond him, and the governor actually promised that as the chief security officer of the state, he can't watch, a situation that is developing here that could lead to a breakdown of law and order develop under him, and he will not act. So when the leader of the team told him that he couldn't do anything about immediately withdrawing the armed policemen from the estate, the governor had to tell the crowd that in a few minutes he's going to place 2 calls, critical ones for that matter, to the Attorney General and Minister of Justice of the Federation, and at the same time the Inspector General of Police. He actually said that he spoke earlier today with the Attorney General of the Federation that he's going to place another call to him alongside with the IGP to see how the team that has been stationed there since 21st of October can be immediately withdrawn, so there won't be no unnecessary confrontation. And if you just look behind me, the bus that conveyed the governor is right there and is inside that bus right now, making those calls as he promised, and he will come out to brief us what the interaction with those two government officials has been, and what next line of action is going to be taken as regards what exactly is happening here in Magodo. Tokumbo.
Well, Tokumbo, can you give us, how are the residents, reacting to the presence of the governor? Are they, do they believe, are they optimistic that there will be a solution to this crisis?
Absolutely. I think based on the reaction, the applause that greeted the announcement of the governor, of the demand by the governor that the team should withdraw immediately, that was greeted by a loud applause from the residents, who actually, I heard some of them shouting, "Action, governor! Action, governor!" It means they're actually pleased with the way he's going about getting a solution to the situation that has been developing here since earlier today. So I think so far they are pleased with him, but we don't know what more reactions will come out after his interaction with those two government officials that he promised to place a call to, the Minister of Justice and the Inspector General of Police. We don't know what the outcome of that will be. We don't know what he's going to tell the residents. So for now, what we know is that they're applauding him for the action he has taken so far. What next is going to happen, we don't know, but we are still here waiting and watching.
Doing a great job there, Tokumbo, doing a great job. I want to ask what the situation is around in terms of car movement, vehicular movement. Is it still quite log-jammed up there? Are vehicles allowed to pass? Or have the protesters been put to the side? What is the situation on ground concerning the presence of protesters in cars?
I'll say the vehicular movement here, the traffic movement here is controlled somehow. Earlier in the day, at about 10:30, a few minutes before 11 o'clock, before 11 a.m., the gates of the two main gates that lead into the estate, Shangisha Gate and the Secretariat Gate, were under lock and key while the protest lasted since about 6 a.m. People who had some emergencies to attend to were only being listened to, and if your case is that serious, they allow you just go. So they were having some kind of controlled movement of vehicular traffic, and even human beings that were moving in and out of the estate. But as at 10:30, a few minutes before 11, the gates were thrown open and people could move out freely. But like I said earlier on, when the residents discovered that the agents of the Shangisa Landlords Association had moved into the estate, backed by armed policemen, again marking properties and actually putting some under lock and key, they actually blocked the road from where I reported earlier. That's a Kodri Adebi, a very major road right inside this estate, obstructing traffic movement. As the governor moved into this place, of course, with some entourage and even the police commissioner in the state, who is now an assistant inspector general of police, has joined in. There are many vehicles, around here, kind of obstructing vehicular traffic, but we can say that people are moving, but not as fast and as free flow as it should be.
And Tokumbo, what exactly is the situation with the police officers from Abuja? Are they looking like they're conceding? Have they gone to, tell us what's the situation. Are they still there? Because from what we can see, it's just residents behind you at the moment.
Yes, some of the policemen from Abuja stationed here are still very much around. Some are inside the base, the police post here. Some that we left with the agents of the Landlords Association, where they actually moved deeper into the estate. We don't know their whereabouts now. We left them at the street where I reported from earlier. They are there. Some of their colleagues are still here at the base, but we don't know what will happen in the next minute based on the engagement that has been going on here with the leader of the team and with the Attorney General of the Federation, as well as the Inspector General of Police.
Tokumbo, thank you so much for that. We heard earlier the governor speaking with the police head or one of the police representatives, and he couldn't give an accurate number of how many police How many people of police uniform were on ground in Magodo? But I was wondering if you maybe had an estimate, and also about how many houses have been marked. I know they went in there and marked a couple of houses. Wanted to know how many of those have been earmarked.
Really, because I can't get the exact figure of the policemen on ground here. Earlier on, when we spoke with the chairman of the Resident Association, Mr. Bajo Shinobi, he told us about 500 of them that are fully armed have been here. 2 weeks ago, when we spoke with them, when they first came in here, he said they were about 1,000. So I guess by the calculation of the Resident Association, the number has somehow reduced to about half. But I can't independently confirm the number of those of them who are right on ground now. And as regards the number of houses that have been marked or put under padlock, I can't tell the number too. But what we observed this morning or this afternoon is that where the people that came in here with the backing of the policemen stopped the last time marking those properties was the same place they started from here, meaning that they are moving deeper into the estate. They're taking it all up from where they stopped the last time. I can't tell the number, but it's large. But if you can go by the court ruling and the press statement by the Shangisha Landlords Association, they claim that the court actually ruled that they be given 549 plots of land, and I guess they are counting until they get to that figure before they stop.
Well, I'm really interested in how the residents are reacting to exactly what's happening. I know earlier when you spoke to the chairman of the Landlords Association, they said the police have been very friendly. Have the residents been able to engage with the police to know exactly who gave this order for the siege to be carried out, considering the fact that the Lagos State government is unaware of it?
Yeah, so far from the interactions that we've had with the chairman, like you said, like you rightly pointed out earlier, they found out that the team here is not from the Lagos Police Command, and we have tried our best to actually engage with the police authorities in Lagos, the police command in Lagos, who said the order is beyond them. They are clearly, according to the information that that is available to us from the Inspector General of Police Office, but there is still much more to be discovered, in that regards. And I guess the engagement of the governor with the IGP will reveal that. So far, in all fairness, according to the chairman of the Resident Association, the policemen have been civil. They've not harassed nobody. But what they can't promise is what could be the reactions of the residents whose private properties are being marked. And like I said earlier, the owner of the other property, Mr. Ibitoye, whose property he said it was actually locked in the first time that these people came. So people like that, when they start to react, they fear that the association here is expressing that the reactions of property owners here may not be palatable. It could be confrontational, which will lead to a very, very unpalatable situation, which they're trying to prevent. And I guess that is why the governor of the state, based on what has happened so far, has shown up here and is trying to engage so that we don't witness anything untoward as regards the situation here.
All right then, Tokumbo, many thanks for bringing us up to date and for letting us know exactly what is happening in Magodo. I'm sure you'll be bringing us updates later on regarding the outcome of the governor's visit, but many thanks for the update in the meantime. Tokumbo Oyetunji, Arise Senior Correspondent there.